Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to the Brew channel. I'm Hurston, and I'll be continuing to guide you on this journey of how we can brew whatever we brew better. So why are we starting this channel? What do we expect to cover in this channel? And how do we intend on doing it? We're gonna talk about that today. So starting with why. Well, I love coffee, tea, and infusion beverages. And if you're wondering what is an infusion beverage, think cocoa, rooibos, think roasted dandelion root, which is one of my favorites right now. And those beverages, while they're not technically coffees or teas, they are infusion drinks that I consume on a regular basis. So that's what's meant by infusion beverages. So I'm a developer, I am a designer, I am a creative problem solver all the way around. And I found myself and continue to find myself consuming these drinks on a regular basis. Not just to keep myself awake like most would think, but I actually enjoy the flavors that come from them. And I've enjoyed them from an early age. I would probably say around 10 or 11, I was drinking coffee on a fairly regular basis. And the myth about it stunting your growth is not actually true. That's genetics. I am 6'5", and so the coffee had no impact on me. And like I said, I've been drinking it for a long, long time. But even in drinking it so early on, I've discovered over time that, man, my experience was grossly stunted. I wasn't nearly as aware of all of the options and all of the things that really went into coffee. And to be quite frank, at the time I grew up in a relatively medium-sized to small town in North Carolina, and the coffee scene was not nearly what it is right now. The tea scene was not nearly what it is right now. Same thing with infusion beverages. So there were some commercial cafes and some commercial places where you could go and get coffee. And of course you could get it from fast food establishments and gas stations. That's never stopped. But in terms of all of the options and the choice that's out there now with all of the different coffee shops that exist and the different independent roasters out there, the world really began to expand and open up as I became aware of how I could get better brewed beverages. Try saying that 3 times fast. Better brewed beverage. Better brew. It's challenging. Anyway, I'm starting this channel because I was having conversations with quite a few people. So co-workers, friends and family, acquaintances, and I found that as I was breaking down new things that I was learning just over time, and they were kind of interested in what I was saying. So I thought to myself, well, surely if this individual is interested in it, maybe there are a few other people who aren't as aware as I was before I started sharing this about this information related to this particular subject. So I said, okay, I want to make sure that I'm sharing this with as many people as possible, because I'm a huge proponent of not hoarding information, and I want to make sure that we build a sense of community around this, because to be honest, these beverages inherently build a sense of community. You know, before we had to socially distance, I would frequent coffee shops, sometimes alone just to do some work. Other times I would have formal meetings with individuals at coffee shops. It was a fantastic thing. And there would be different instances where I would just drop in and maybe have a quick conversation with a barista or a coffee shop owner that was available, just because I was so interested in understanding the coffee, tea, and infusion beverage world. So as I've gotten information over the years and continue to get it, and continue to explore what is really within this world of coffee, tea, and infusion beverages, I wanted to make sure that I shared it with you all. So that's why I'm starting this channel. I'm very passionate about this space. I love it. I'm of it. And I wanted to make sure that I built a sense of community around it to learn more from you all who may have some tips and tricks and techniques that I'm just not aware of, all in the hopes that whatever I'm brewing here at my house, I'm doing so better. So now we'll talk about the what. What will we be covering on this channel? And that's a fantastic question. The big thing that we'll be talking about are the different types of coffee, teas, and infusion beverages that I have collected over the last 6 months to a year to be able to come and share on this platform. I found some really interesting ones that I'd never even heard of, never thought even existed, to be honest with you. And then I've got some tried and true, trusted, right off the grocery store shelf coffees that we're all familiar with. Same thing with teas and same thing with infusion beverages. So I'll be digging deeper into what does it take to actually brew these different beverages. And we'll be using a system of 3 to 4 different brewing techniques, just so you can get an idea of, oh, okay, I wasn't aware that I could also create this beverage in that way. I made a very specific point to try and find equipment that was relatively inexpensive, because I understand that, you know, budgets can be tight nowadays, and I want to make sure that we have the option and the opportunity to brew whatever we brew in as many ways as possible without having it break the bank. There's one exception to that rule with a device that I purchased, and I'm really excited to show it, to the point where I didn't even open it yet. I haven't even used it myself, so I can't wait to use it on camera with you all so that you can kind of share in that experience with me, because I'm pretty excited about that brewing technique. So if you like what you're hearing so far, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notified of when the videos are released, and hit the thumbs up for me. You know, I'm working to build a community and a channel here. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have some interviews. I'm gonna bring in subject matter experts because, like I said before, I don't deem myself an expert. I just found that I've discovered some information here and there. I've pulled those resources and then try and use them to share with other individuals who just may not be aware. So in saying all of that, I want to make sure that I bring some experts into the fold. I'm going to talk to roasters. I'm going to talk to coffee shop owners. I'm going to talk to baristas. I want to make sure that we get additional perspectives so that as we continue on this journey, we're doing so in a more informed way. That's the only way we're going to learn how to actually brew better. I'm also going to go out to trusted spots and get coffee from them as well. I'm gonna go to fast food restaurants and do taste tests, head-to-heads. I'm going to go to different gas stations, socially distanced and safe and masked up, but I digress. I'm gonna go and make sure that I get caffeinated beverages from these places, coffee, tea, and infusion drinks, and bring them back and do different taste tests to see, you know, in my opinion, whose tastes the best. It may have been a while since you've gone to Burger King and gotten their coffee, or you've gone to McDonald's and gotten their coffee, or you've gone to Jack in the Box and gotten their coffee, if those are available in your area. So I want to make sure that I talk about those drinks as well, because the whole thing around this channel is to eliminate the pretension that most people think or feel like is in this particular space. So I want to cut down on as much of that as possible and get back to just kind of the roots of the situation. Also, to let you know, I'm not above going to a gas station and getting coffee. I'm not above going to McDonald's and getting their coffee, or going to Burger King and getting their coffee either. But if we're going to do it, let's find the best way to get the best brew possible. So we'll talk about that also. Last but certainly not least, I'm gonna demystify cafe menus, because I have had so many instances where I go into a cafe and feel like, you know, I need something because I don't feel like I'm connected to the space. Maybe if I have this. Whew. All right, so this helps, but still not quite there. Okay, I got it. I think I need these. Whew. Okay, so suspenders, got the hat, almost there. This outfit is nearly complete. I've got it. I think I know the last thing that I need. It'll be this. There we go. Now we're good. Monocle. Okay. So I felt like I needed to look like this in order to be in the coffee shop and get the kind of experience that it was giving to me. And the truth is, it's not really like that. Well, in a lot of places. But in order to not feel like this is what you have to don when you go into a coffee shop, I want to make sure that when you approach that menu on entry, you have a better idea of what type of drinks are there. And maybe you become even more enlightened about what other types of drinks exist that you hadn't even considered before. Different preparation methods and different ways that you can ask for your drink that may actually give you, oh, well, didn't need the monocle anyway, that may actually give you better results. And so that is one of the things that I'm going to bring to this channel. I'm going to take some menus from a couple of different local coffee shops and just say, okay, let's run down this list and let's really break down what are these things. Let's put some definitions to these terms so you better understand what is it that you're actually ordering or not ordering, and maybe give you some alternatives to your usual. All right, I'm going to get out of this stuff now. You saw the monocle had to hop out of my eye because, you know, so 1 second. Oh, better. So that's what we're going to cover on this channel. Pretty wide range of content, and I can't wait to deliver it to you. Now, the last thing is the how. And the how is, one, through a sense of community. I completely expect feedback, information from you. So right now, go down in the comments, let me know. Are you a tea person? Are you a coffee person? Are you an infusion beverage person? Are you an I don't know person? Let me know your thoughts. I'm very interested to know, as we build this sense of community, what is it that you like? So I can maybe kind of fine tune the things that I cover and make sure that I'm giving you the best experience possible. So drop in the comments below. I like tea, I like coffee, I like infusion beverages, and then let me know, how do you like to prepare it? I'm really curious to know your preparation methods. That's gonna give me some insights into maybe a video that I put up. And if I use your idea on here, I'll give you credit and let everybody know that it came from you, because I'm definitely interested in sharing that information and want it to be known that I'm sharing it and it's not just coming directly out of my head. We'll also be putting these videos out relatively frequently. The plan is to put out a video every Tuesday. Now, in the early parts of this, it may be 2 videos a week, and let me explain why. The next group of videos are going to cover the hardware that I'm using to brew these different beverages. I want to make sure that you're able to follow along. I don't want there to be any confusion about, well, how is he actually preparing these beverages? I see them in the cups, but I don't actually know how they got there. Don't worry about that. I'm going to be sharing that with you. So for the next few weeks, you should expect to see a couple of videos per week, because I'm going to be covering the hardware. I'm going to show you what I did to brew those specific beverages. So what were the steps that I took? And then let you know, hey, here are some areas where you can make some adjustments just based on what you prefer. So if you like stronger coffee, you may want to do this. If you like coffee that's a little bit on the lighter side, then you may want to do that. If you're interested in just a small amount of tea, this is what I would recommend. And I'm going to make those recommendations based off of what I get from the hardware manufacturers, as well as what I've learned from other individuals. And then as we pick up those cues from different people, even yourself, I'll actually drop those into the videos as well, so we're able to continue to share. Again, this is a sense of community. I want you to feel like you're involved and you have a place in this particular journey and discussion, because to be quite frank, you do. And I can't wait to see how that turns out. So expect a couple of videos per week for the next few weeks as we break down in a relatively short series what hardware we're going to be using on this channel. Outside of that and after that, you should look to see at least 1 video per week. And once the world begins to open up again, a couple of videos per week as we start to integrate interviews into our process. If any of this, all of this, some of this, or none of this sounds super intriguing to you, hit subscribe, down below. Tap it, tap the button, or click the link, whatever you need to do to help support this channel and help us to grow. Also click the bell, like I said before, because the first batch of videos is going to come out pretty quickly, and I want to make sure that you're up to speed on how we're going to move forward, at least in the brewing portion of this channel. and then hit the like button. You know, I'm working to build something fantastic here, and I want to make sure I'm able to continue to provide you with the highest level of content I possibly can, with the hopes that we grow this experience as we move forward. So I thank you for taking this time to watch this video. Hopefully I explained everything that you needed to know, why we started the channel, what we intend to do on the channel, and how we intend to do it. And if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas, positive, constructive feedback, drop those in the comment section below as well. I'll read every single one of those comments and make sure that I offer some feedback. And I'm ready to get rocking and rolling on this journey to discover how can we brew better. Till next time, peace.